himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so knew off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn, so there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, look at Johnson! They haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's gonna do it! Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we have returned for the JPB American Tour Championship Round 7 live at Virginia North. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth once more by Mr. Zach Sweeney here this evening. Is going to be alongside me as we go into the final 8 races of the season. It is Virginia North tonight. It's Lime Rock West Bend next week. Road Atlanta Fall the week after, and Daytona Nascar Road Circuit the week after that. Let's bring you up to date with the standings in the AMS. It's Carl Jacklett out in front on 215 points, with Scott Malcolm on 191, Kev Aylett on 164 in third, with Tom Woodcott on 154 in fourth, and then Deck Craver in fifth on 150. Very tight at the top for the third, fourth and fifth spot. And can Scott Malcolm overtake Carl Jacklett? Behind that, you got Victor Brown, Dan Lewis, Stuart Gibbons, Jess Rakowski, Tom Anderson, Dom Joy, Chris Barnes, James Ellis, Leo Bryan, Robert Williams, Roger Morton, Tom Weston and Mike Barr. In the team standings, it's JAASR at the top of the standings on 318 points, with Performance Link Esports Yellow on 286, Blade Designs on 282, with Photomedia.uk on 215, Performance Link Esports Red, Kraken Racing, Safeguard by Result, and Survival Hub Racing after that. In the pro team standings, I'm going to do the pro team standings first. AIRaceSummaries.com winner team are out in front on 349, with SRL Amber on 235. Performance Link Esports Green on 199. There you go, 123. JW Motorsports on 165, with SRL Emerald on 154. SRL Next Gen on 150. Sabal Esports on 126. SRL Ruby on 123. Black Sheep Racing on 111, VTech Gang on 84, with BSTV on 69, and Performance Link Esports Blue on 60. In the pro standings at the moment, you can see how tight it is. Patrick Faulkner is out in front on 175, with Mikey Pollard on 174, Fraser Elphick on 170, and then you've got Adam Dalmont on 150. There's still an opportunity for Adam Dalmont to get himself this championship win. Russell Fowler on 135, with CRG on 126, Michael Lease on 111, Ian Manners in 8th on 105, and John Brown on 86. JB Deju in 10th. Then Mark Draper, Stuart Bickley, Alan McCain, Stephen Fry, Michael Seal, Reese Watt, John Cook, George McDonald, and then Adam McNally rounding out the final ones here as well. Zach, it's been a very interesting season so far. We've only got 8 rounds remaining. We're just about to go into Quali, and tonight we tackle VIR North Circuit.
We do. I do love Virginia International Raceway. It is such a versatile circuit, but it is very tricky. I mean, just look at it. It is literally a roller coaster. It is so much fun, not only to drive, but it opens up the door for a very iconic race dynamic. The ups, the downs, the lefts, the right, the sweeps, the very tight and twisty nature. Of course, we are on the North course, so we do cut off quite a significant chunk of it. To be fair, even though we are on a shorter course, it's still fairly long. It's still just over 2 miles, which for a short course is relatively quite long. So we should expect, some decently long laps here. And we still have some of the sort of the big name corners as well. We've still going into the normal turn and bob. We still go all uphill through the sweepers before we get to Snake. Then we run away down towards the back end of the circuit. The interesting thing though, James, is that we've only really got one predominantly flat out section, and that's of course from the final corner into turn number 1. So you've got probably a good 3/4 of the track where ideally you're going to be running single file, followed then by your big action zone passing opportunity. So track position, I think, is going to be important, but expect to see some carnage down into turn number 1 a couple of times.
Yeah, I think that's going to be what I'm hoping in a weird way we don't see that, right? Because obviously these drivers have been together now this season. Some of them have come in, some of them are new, some of them are old, some of them have been here for ages. And they all know how to race alongside each other. And I think now it's getting to the nitty gritty. We're getting to the point where people should know how to deal with each other. They've all been very sensible. We've got the mixtures of pro and ams as we always have. And at the moment, Fraser Elphick's leading the way on a 1:35.9. So although we don't want to see big major collisions coming down into turn 1, if it does happen, then obviously these guys will obviously just turn around and go, meh, it happened, that's it. But hopefully, we won't see any dramas that happen. Now, one of the things we will keep you updated with is the incident between John Brown last week and Michael Sill has been reviewed by the stewards. Michael Sill will get 1 penalty point on his license and 5 championship points deducted after squeezing John Brown in as they come around the last corner in that last one as well. Of course, we've still got John O'Cook and also Alan McCain serving their penalty at the moment. This is the last round. They will be able to return next week if they so wish and come and rejoin into the action. So there was some action last week at Watkins Glen. Didn't go down too well with the stewards there. And I think, to be honest, the incident that we're talking about is John Brown unfortunately getting squeezed across by Michael Seal. Sealy basically come to the left-hand side, come across him and ended up putting John Brown into the wall. So, they're all getting to learn the rules and regulations. That's probably one of the second protest of the season, Zach. I think that says wonders for this series, really, when we've only had 2 all season.
Yeah, obviously I like the idea that that JPB has with the whole, we're not going to open incidents until 9 o'clock the next day. Sleep on it. Take a breather, all right? Just go, sit down with your family, forget about racing, right? Just go sleep on it. Wake up. Are you still thinking about it when you wake up? No, don't report it then. Why? Because you don't care about it enough to still be thinking about it when you wake up. At the end of the day, it's pretend race cars on pretend racetracks. And while it is real racing, it's on a sim. You're sat in your sim rig or on your desk chair or whatever it is, with your big man toy that is a hobby and you love it. But at the end of the day, is it that deep? Not really, right? You're not going out here winning tens of thousands of pounds to race, which then granted, I suppose a little bit of anger and emotion is warranted, which, don't get me wrong, again, I'm not saying don't be emotional, don't be angry or whatever, because stuff happens and it is a competition. You are perfectly within your right to have some emotion, but don't kick off about it, don't ruin friendships over it, don't lose sleep over it, don't start ranting off to your missus about it, because it is really not that deep. So while the adrenaline is high, just ignore it. Just go and sleep, go and forget about it, wake up in the morning. If you're still that fussed about it and you still want good old Mr. Bob to be punished, then by all means put in an incident request. That's fair enough. But these guys, I think it shows a lot of emotional maturity just to say stuff happens. It's racing. At the end of the day, we're in touring cars around some really, really tight circuits. Like, are we really going to expect everyone to be squeaky clean? Absolutely not. This type of racing really does sort of not necessarily encourage it, but it does give the very high probability that it will happen. These are grown men. They know what they're doing. Of course, we have got the likes of Jess Rakowski as such. Just as a general, these are grown people, I suppose, out here on circuit. They're mature enough to know what is and what isn't worth reporting. So fair play to these guys. And, just in general, we haven't really seen that many big incidents anyway. So, yeah, I think everyone's been on their top form this season.
I fully agree with you there as well. Welcome in Austin Draper as always. Where's JP out? I must be like an hour back. I think you are if you're in the States, because you have gone back an hour. Piercy with my big man toy or big man toy phrasing. So I think he's giving you a little bit of ribbing there, Mr. Sweeney. Delmont did go fastest last time out. Paddy Faulkner did hold it for a brief moment between Delmont went on to the 130.03 or 130.029. You can see it there. Delmont's also going faster in sector 3 again. So we'll keep an eye on Adam Delmont as he comes over the line. Paddy Faulkner is in front of him. Delmont's going to be right behind him. Paddy's got some greens on the board at the moment. Fraser Elphick goes up into that second place. Does Adam Delmont improve? Surely he's got to improve with that a time. The first man into the 129s, 129.966 for Delmont. He's come to play with his big man toy here tonight, Zach. He's not letting it go.
Well, yeah, right.
You said it.
There's got to be a point where he's got to let go of his man toy.
Well, clearly he likes playing on his man toy because otherwise he wouldn't be doing it on pole.
I don't know how hard he can grip it. I don't know.
Well, he's been on his man toy all week, obviously, because he's been out practicing with his man toy.
I'm surprised it's still standing then, to be honest.
Well, yeah, if he was Pinocchio, he would have set himself on fire. But anyway.
Right. James, 30 seconds ago, 30 seconds ago, which I know is a long time, right? We were just talking about emotional maturity.
I kind of deem us to have maturity, but I also deem us to enjoy what we do with our pretend race cars around our pretend tracks on our big man toys. So as far as I'm concerned, at the end of the day, as long as everybody else is enjoying it and having a bit of fun alongside with us here as well, come on guys, if we were serious all the time, would you really tune in? Let's be honest here as well. We don't just we entertain. That's our purpose. Paddy Faulkner again, purple in 1. He's got into pole, the second man into the 129s. Delmont's come over and pipped him at the line. 129.767 here as well. Adam Delmont and Paddy Faulkner swapping places. Adam McNally's put himself in 3rd with Fraser Elphick in 4th here. In the AMS, Tom Woodcock currently leading the AMS on a 130.088 with Victor Brown 130.396. Carl Jaglet on a 130.666. Again, you know, we don't need superlatives for Carl Jaglet. He does an absolutely barnstorming stellar job. Michael Seal is on a quali ban at the moment. He's changed cars this week, so Michael Seal is back in the Veloster, so he will be starting at the back. What's John Brown going to be able to do here as well? So we're going to end up 21 cars here this evening as well, so we'll have 21 cars going on track. Piercy, just stop it, will you? Stop laughing. Been an interesting start to the evening, Zach, hasn't it? Always. I mean,
it's a Friday, right? We've had a long week at work. Some of us, I know you haven't. I'm joking.
I work from home. It's not my problem. It sounds like a you issue,
mate. I do both. All right, I'm 50-50. I'm just gonna say I do much prefer the work at home. I think people are just jealous. They're just like, oh, I have to go and slave away, whereas you wake up at 10:30, get in your jacuzzi, then log on, do some work. I mean, people, it's fair enough. I have to say, yeah, it has been a very interesting opening.
Delmont's gone quicker
it's me and
again.
you in the commentary booth.
Yep.
And it's Adam Delmont, top in qualifying.
Absolutely.
You know, deja vu. A lot of similar things happening in this broadcast.
Oh, go on, Mark. Mark Draper on a 129.974 puts himself into 3rd. Mark's had a very rough up and down season. He deserves to get some luck over the next 3 rounds, of course. This one, over the next 4, sorry, if you're including this one with Lion Rock Road, Atlanta and Daytona. I'm looking forward to Daytona. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to put it at night yet or I'll leave it at the daytime. I'm not sure on what I should do on that one. Let me know in YouTube chat if you've got any opinions on whether or not we should go night at NASCAR Road Circuit at Daytona. John Brown put himself in 3rd at 129.965. A stellar job from him as well. Tom Woodcock and Victor Brown not too far apart in the AMS. I work from home, woke up 90 minutes late. Colleagues didn't even notice. Not sure what they say about me, but hey, no, I know. I feel you. Well, they don't see it, Piercy. They don't see it. They just see that we work from home. They don't see that I get up and I come and sit in my office with coffee and write out what I'm going to do today and what's on the agenda and how long my list is getting. You know, you try handling all these young lads, Piercy. It's a bit of a nightmare setting them all up. I'd tell you. What? Not like I'm. What?
Have you had to intervene with me? Do you have to help me? Do you have to micromanage me? Or do I just come here, do the job that you pay me to do?
Let me have a think about that. It's been a year, Zach. There must have been some issue somewhere.
No, I'm a good boy.
Oh, okay.
I do my job. I come, I sit down. I'm always ready most of the time.
To be fair, you know, you are, but it's still not the point. John Brown going quicker again in sectors 1.
I just won, ladies and gentlemen, is what's just happened, and James Parfitt wants to ignore it.
Well, look, we do have some commentary going on here. There's some racing going around the racetrack, and John Brown is going to go far. Oh, no, he's not. What's his offset against the 2 yellows, though? 1:29.937. His fastest time doesn't quite break in to that top 2, but he's close. He's not far off at all, is JB. He is absolutely flying here. We're into the last 2.5 minutes. People settle down on times, I think. Paddy Faulkner's got he has got a green in sector 3. What's he's going to be able to do from sectors 4? And can Paddy come over that line and lock himself into that pole position? He's only 3/10 really. He's got to find his green again. Oh, he's got closer, just not quite close enough this time around, Zach.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's he's literally only got this lap left to go. For those, of course, unfamiliar with iRacing, it's not like F1 or GT Sport or ACC, whereas there we go. That is his session.
Done.
Off and over. Same to Adam Delmont. So the fight for pole is done. Realistically, Mark Draper is in 3rd. But basically, time and tick 0, session's over. There's no finishing your lap. Doesn't matter if you are on the quickest lap ever seen before. If you don't cross the line before the time and tick 0, then tough luck, sunshine. That is your session over and done with. The top 2 are in. Mark Draper has just crossed the line. I think he might be able to get one more lap in if he so wishes. There goes Ian Manners up to 4th. To be fair, we've got the top 5 only separated by about 4/10. The top 8 by half a second, which is very impressive. So yeah, bring it on. I think we're in for a cracker of a race.
Second between 1st and 15th. A second between 15 cars. This could be exciting. We could see a good mix-up. Don't forget, race 1 here is 20 minutes. Race 2 will be a top 15 reverse with 30 minutes on the clock. That's how it's going to be this evening. I have put the calendar together for next season. There also might be a little tweak in the format that I've decided that I want to spice things up. So let's see how the reception goes when I announce it, hopefully tomorrow.
Okay, cool. I'll keep an eye out for it. Of course, anyone that does want to get involved, if this does tickle your fancy and you're like, hang on, I want to get involved in that, keep an eye out, of course, on the JPB website. Look out for when sign-ups and stuff open. Get yourself involved. And, of course, join the Discord.
He's picked Paddy right at the end. 1:29.
Oh,
it's close. 6:25 there. We've got literally 4/10 of a second between 1st and 7th. Half a second between 1st and 8th. So this is going to be a very interesting one. JB's going to come over the line. What is he going to be able to do? I don't think he's got an improvement in him here at the moment, unless he does some miracle. He hasn't. Ross Fowler, dear sir, I hate to tell you this, but you're not likely to get to the end. So let's bring you up the grid for this first race of the evening. It is Adam Delmont out in front with Mark Draper in 2nd, Paddy Faulkner 3rd, Ian Manners 4th, John Brown 5th with Russ Fowler in 6th. Then you've got Fraser Elphick 7th, Adam McNally 8th, Mikey Pollard down in 9th. Tom Woodcock in 10th, Victor Brown 11th, but then 6/10 back from the leader, JB Deju down in 12th. Then beyond that, JB Deju, Carl Jacklett, then Stuart Bickley, Stu Gibbons, and then we hit a second back at 16th with Michael Lees, Tom Anderson, Chris Barnes, Deck Crowder, Michael Sills, we know had a penalty, and Rob Williams, who probably might not actually make it onto the grid by the looks of it. So I wonder if Rob is going to make it here as well. He did join the session, so not entirely sure what's happening to him. Let me go on a little bit of a hunt and try and find out here. So let me see what he says, and I'll find out. But the first race of the evening is going to be up and running, just waiting. JB Deju's on the grid. Unfortunately, the countdown will have to go to 2 minutes because of the fact that Rob joined the session. Now we are going green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Race 1 is up and running. Adam Delmont got off the line. So did Paddy Faulkner, who's got the inside line for Mark Draper. But look at Ian Manners. He's surely not going to take it 3 wide down into turn 1. There's another dive on the inside by the SRL of John Brown. He bullies out his teammate here once more. John Brown moves up 2 places. Mark Draper down 2 right at the start. And Ian Manners there, Zach, he got an absolute flyer. If he could have maintained that speed going into turn 1 there, this could be definitely a different looking positions at the moment.
Yeah, definitely could be. I mean, you know, it's one thing getting a good start, but then it's almost like, what do you do with that? You know, you've got this opportunity, you've got this tool. Now, what do you do with it? Unfortunately, sometimes, you know, you can get boxed in, you can brake too late, you can choose the wrong line. All these different things can actually make a good start, you know, harm you and go backwards. But he's managed to negate that and just stay where he started there in 4th. Still plenty of doors wide open for him in this race. But so far, a perfect launch from Adam Delmont. Look at that gap already over Paddy Faulkner, building up towards 9/10 of a second. If he can continue to bridge that, and if he can sort of finalise that over a second on this opening lap, provided he doesn't make any mistakes, he's going to be fairly secure for this race.
Yeah, Michael Lees had a bit of an issue at the beginning here. Not entirely sure what went on. Just trying to have a look back. Lees there in that Hyundai. Did he just miss his braking point? Oh, no. There's a mover there. That looked like it possibly was JB Deju. And then Deck Crowther went off as well, and unfortunately ended up jumping back. Whoa. Have a look at that on a different angle. Deck Crowther, was there contact? That's going to be the question. Him and Michael Lees, I think, had a little bit of a tat-tat-tat, and unfortunately had a coming together. Stu Gibbons, Fraser Elphick running side by side. Fraser's on the left-hand side now as he's coming into NASCAR bend there, and it looked a little bit of a tough one there on Deck Crowther. JB Deju looked like he got a little bit wrong. Fraser Elphick's running on the grass at the moment, and Michael Seals trying to move up as well. He started at the back, currently up 7 places here, Zach. A great run from him at the moment.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, just picking his way through the carnage more than anything. Just, you know, finding the gap, committing to it, because it is difficult here at VIR because, you know, as I say, it is tight, it is twisty. There's not exactly a ton of overtaking opportunities, especially through the twisty stuff, because you're not going hard on the throttle and then hard on the brakes as well. So, see, yeah, Michael Seals is just slowly but surely finding his way through like that, maybe just, you know, looking for a gap, trying to commit to it, similar to what Russell Founder just did there, baiting Draper into a little bit of a mistake. But even then, even with a mistake in front, there's just not really much way past.
No, there definitely isn't. Looking back from Draper's car at Fowler as they're going now on to the start-finish straight. Probably your main overtake position here, I think, from this situation. There's a battle down with Gibbons, Seal, Barnes, Elphick and Lees as well. It looks like we've lost JB Deju already. Faulkner's put the fastest lap in on a 1:30.446. Here comes Russ Fowler. Very, very close there as he's coming in through turn 1. Didn't quite manage to make it through, but I'm sure he'll probably look at having another go as we go on board with Fowler now as he's coming into the left-hander or left hook here, Zach. This is a very interesting makeup of circuit. This is, you know, the long circuit, obviously, or the full circuit that people are used to, but there is also the interesting thing with this circuit. There is also a longer circuit available in iRacing, which, to be honest, I think is too long for TCRs. I'm not going to lie. I think you've got
to look at.
Yeah, it's great to look at, but it's very, very long. You know, it would be a couple of minute lap, I think, to be honest with them. But Mark Draper's pressurising Ian Manners here. Went up at the beginning, he went down at the beginning, and he's got to try and make his way back through now as Draper. He's looking very quick at the moment, and to be honest with you, if he could have maintained where he qualified, in second. I think he could have been there or thereabouts with Delmont.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Delmont has just, gotten the perfect start. He's built that gap. He's bridging away from everyone else, just trying to escape the slipstream as such. Paddy Faulkner's doing his best to not let that happen. They are virtually matched on pace. 29.998 for Delmont, 30.057 for Faulkner. Close into the first corner between this train for third. But yeah, it all starts with the start, funnily enough. You can't necessarily win a race on lap one, but you can always lose it. And I think that is what happened for Draper. Is that, is close, practically pushing each other through. But I do think that's what happened to Draper. He got a poor start, and as good as his pace might be, he now can't use it because he's spending the vast majority of the race what he could have been using to fight with Delmont, instead battling away trying to get himself onto the podium.
He's trying to get away here as well. Michael Seal has got a bit of a train behind him of Stu Gibbons, Chris Barnes, Tom Anderson as well. Fraser Elphick looks like he's going side by side with Michael Lees. He does manage to make that position up here as well. There's a great move up through the snake section, not always easy, and has got to be definitely facilitated there. Gibbo is chasing down on the brightly yellowed livery of Michael Seal, and then of course we've still got Adam McNally with Carl Jacqueline fighting it out. Carl leading the AMs once more. Again, not enough superlatives. He has had a great season, and nobody would begrudge Carl Jacqueline of winning that AM championship. He has had a stellar season to speak of, to be fair. Russ Fowler, Mark Draper, Manners and John Brown still battling it out. There's Carl Jacqueline coming into the back there as well. Looks like he's got Mikey Pollard for company, and he has in the AI race summaries team. So nice little battles developing throughout this race, Zach. And I think it could be really, really interesting coming into the last 5-10 minutes or so, because I think JB Manners, Mark Draper, Fowler, McNally, Jacqueline Pollard, and possibly Bickley could all end up coming together.
Oh, they could. Just look at, what is that? That is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars, nose to tail, essentially, around VIR, which is, very much a potential for pile-ups, let's put it that way. A couple of cars thinking about going side by side. I think Brown defending from Manners ever so slightly, but there's no way through as they rise up over the hill here through once more a little bit more twisty stuff. But, just look at how close they are. The amount of trust that Draper is putting in that Honda Civic just to not mess up, essentially. He is saying, I'm trusting you to choose where to turn in right here. And they are trusting their instincts so well as he thinks about a move to the inside. That was definitely a thought. But the fact is, there are so many blind apexes here at VIR that you literally just turn based on instinct, based on reference, and hope the car in front is doing the same, is not going to mess up. Because if they make a mistake, you are not at all going to react to that, and then it's just a pile up. It's a Constantina effect. Everyone behind hits into the driver in front, and you very quickly have a big issue.
Yeah, you do, and to be honest, it looked, well, when we went on board there, you could see just how blind some of these turns were, and he couldn't see Mark Draper. He was just relying on following Ian Manners and hoping, as you say, that he doesn't mess up. And that's the thing, it's all about reliance on the person next to you. Russ Fowler is now pushing, I'm not sure, Jacqueline. Oh, Russ, go forward. Go forward.
No, stay still. Oh,
no,
goodness
he's got to
me.
get off, get off, get off, get off. I can't work out if that was all on his own from Fowler there, or if there was a little bit of contact. Oh, we're going to go behind a tree. Oh.
That's useful.
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, here we go. Maybe we will see. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. So he thinks about it. That move is on over the curb, though.
That's a really tough one, I think, to even remotely see on that one where the contact come from. I think even if we come here, I think we're going to be far enough alongside to even see. There was a little bit.
I mean, the move is on for Fowler, but also have to understand that corner you treat effectively as two. You saw there, no one really stopped turning left. They just sort of did so. They turned in quite a lot and then straightened up a little bit, but still were turning left just to keep the front tyres in check. So to send a move while the driver's already, started to turn for the next corner is a little bit sketchy. I would probably put it down more to a racing incident because he was alongside. He did warrant room, but also the mitigating circumstance is the racing line that you carry through that corner. Yeah. We'll take a look on board with Jacklett just to see how little time you have to react. Look at the rotation he's got. The smoke clears up, and he does see it. He does spot the incident. He does slow down. There's just nothing that he can do.
No, he's trying to turn left, isn't he? You can see from his steering, he's trying to go left here, and he just doesn't seem to be. You can't when the car's coming back at you, and I think that's the thing here as well. It's a very tough one there as well. So, you know, that's a difficult one to even comprehend at the beginning. I want to have a look and see what happened to JB Deju at the beginning here, side by side with Carl Jacklett, and then unfortunately, little bit of argy-bargy at the beginning, I think. Could that be the case here, I think, on that one? It's a... I need to go back a little bit further to see from JB. Oh, Jacklett's trying to go up the inside. Tough one. Tough one that at the start, especially in turn one, Zach, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, we're mitigating circumstances and things. It's turn one, it's Virginia International Raceway. Things are bound to happen. People are bound to make mistakes. Not to say that, you know, they're excusable and you can get a get out of jail free card as such, but you know, you've got to be 150% focused. Your head has to be on a swivel, looking up, down, left, right, this way, that way, forwards and back, just to be able to, in some capacity, predict or at least read the body language of everyone else. You have to assume everyone else on that racetrack has never touched a race car before in their life. Yep. That is the way that some people go into turn number one, is that, all right, you and you all are risks, you're all potential hazards. I'm going to do my best to stay the absolute million miles away out of your way as best I can, because again, anything can go wrong and you've got to put yourself first. Sure, you might lose 1 or 2 places, but at the end of the day, that is better than then losing 10 or 20 places because you've not been able to read or predict that body language correct. So turn one, it swings and roundabouts. It's a great opportunity to gain, but on the flip side of that, it's also a very good opportunity to lose places. So you have to weigh it up how much risk you're willing to take versus how much reward there potentially is on the line.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Don't forget, guys, as well, we have got a team entering into the Make-A-Wish Driver Wish race on the 19th here. So if you can donate anything, we are trying to raise money for this as well. So any, you know, even £1 will do to help us in our goal of, I think we've set a goal of getting to $200, and we're already up to 85. So if you can, any single amount will be absolutely amazing. And we've got a lot more racing coming up here as well within the JPB Discord and leagues. GT4's been released for next season. The Clios have been released. BDLV's coming up on the 26th. 26th. So if you fancy 6 hours of Brands Hatch, grab a teammate and get involved with that one. Funny enough, TCRs and GT4. Obvious reason, that's what we mainly do here. But Ian Manners is having a nice little battle with Mark Draper here, and Draper's climbing all over him at the moment, Zach, and they've been together for the last 14 minutes.
They have been. They've only got, of course, about 6.5 left to go in this race, so you know they better settle this soon. Time very much is a luxury that no one really has at this point, apart probably from Adam Delmont, Paddy Faulkner, John Brown, because they are all just chilling in their own little pocket of racetrack at this point. The race is just ticking by for them, but for these guys, time is of the essence. They have to start putting some pressure on one another to bait a mistake, solidify a position, to actually start a fight for said position, because as I say, yeah, time firmly is running out. Probably only got 4 or 5 laps left to go potentially. So when you think about it, if turn one is your biggest overtaking opportunity, you've only got 4 more turns into turn number 1, which means ideally you've got 4 big opportunities, and with each lap that passes by is another opportunity lost.
Absolutely. Fully agree with you, and obviously Draper's trying to move up in the championship. Manners is trying to move himself up as well. We've only got 1 point between Faulkner and Pollard, and then we've got 4 or 5 points between Helfrich. And then obviously with Adam Delmont, he's 25 points back as Mark Draper gets it a little bit wrong there as well. Unfortunately for Mark, he's losing positions. He's made a mistake. He went off the side of the circuit there, Zach, and has not done himself any favours. He runs in too hot, completely misses the corner, and unfortunately ends up on the grass. No contact with Manners there, and unfortunately for Mark Draper, he now finds himself in 8th place. Don't forget, top 15 reverse for race 2, so you can some of these guys like Delmont will go down on into 15th, and at the moment that's being held by Tom Woodcock, who is finding himself really all on his own with Michael Lees behind him, but 2.5 seconds back. You know, it's going to be an interesting one in that reverse grid. Delmont's got to be basically cleanish, Zach, would you say, as Fraser Elphick's battling away with Stuart Gibbons?
Yeah, he is. Is he going to make a move into turn number 1? Let's have a look. He is going to pull to the right-hand side. He is going to be brave on the brakes. What a move from the Scotsman if he's able to pull this one off. Trying to go the long way round, of course, is Stuart Gibbons, but that's not going to work. He was committed. Confident is the big key word, I think, in that one for Fraser Elphick. He knew how late he could brake. He knew what it would take to get that move done, and he just went there and did it. Didn't give it a second thought, didn't hesitate, just did the job that he needed to do. Up now into 2nd place in, moving his way ahead of 3rd place in the AM class in the form of Stuart Gibbons, and up now into 11th place overall, and well, could find himself now attacking Michael Seal in the near future as well. But going back to your point, of course, on Adam Delmont, he needs to be calm, collected, composed, but also, yeah, a little touch aggressive, because especially at VIR, you're not going to get many opportunities to make moves up. So those opening 1, 2, 3 laps are going to be pivotal for his race if he wants to maximise his points haul. He's a little bit further down in the championship than he would like. So if a win in race 1 plus maybe some good points in race 2, he could kickstart something back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I think Delmont's in with a great opportunity here, and Michael Seal was having a great battle with Fraser Elphick. Stuart Gibbons trying to get onto the back as well. Victor Brown at the moment leading the AMs here. So for Victor, that's absolutely amazing. I think if he takes this one, if I'm not mistaken here, throughout this season, I think this will be Brown's 2nd win. I believe he took Sonoma in the first race there as well. We did win at Sonoma. I don't think he's won for the rest of the season. Carl Jacklett has been mainly the name on the top, swapping with Devin Craver and Aylett. So I think for Victor Brown, this will be his 2nd win of the season in the AMs. That will be absolutely amazing for him. Another one that's come in and done an absolutely stellar job here as well. That will give him some nice little points, boosting him to try and get close to the top 3 in with Carl Jacklett. So let's see what happens. And Fraser Elphick still battling away with Michael Seal.
Yeah, not long left to go. Looking to go to the inside, but nicely held off, of course. Seal defending from the Scotsman with all of his might in that fight for 10th place. Seal up 10 places. He started down basically plumb last in this race. He's now inside the top 10 and has really kickstarted his evening. Not only is he going to get a good points haul out of this race, he's then also going to be in a decent position going into race number 2. So not a great start in the form of starting towards the back, but he's really saved himself with some good, clean, decisive overtaking in race 1.
Absolutely, I fully agree. He's, as you say, he's up 10 places, the biggest gainer on the track at the moment. There's been some great racing, 1:35 on the clock. We haven't got Barney waving yet. This man, well, he's done what he needed to do. He's taken the victory. Let's not be premature here, but I think at the end of the day, Delmont, as long as he keeps it on track, he will do an absolute stellar job keeping this victory. He had to beat Faulkner, he had to beat Pollard, and that is what he's gone out and done. He's gonna gain points back on Pollard here as well. Obviously Pollard sitting in 6th at the moment, not all having it his own way, as he's got Victor Brown climbing up behind him as well. So for Adam Delmont, he's racked up some good points here as well, and has done himself a good bunch of favours going into this next race as well. I think Delmont to be honest, is looking a little bit unstoppable here, and I think it'd be great for him to take this victory, and I'll be interested to see what he does coming into the next race.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's one of those drivers that makes progress quick. You know, we see it in all disciplines that he races in, particularly sort of in the Clios as such with Delmont, is that he gets his head down, he drives, he goes fast, and especially those open laps in reverse grid races, he thrives. His main rival, for ththose that follow the JPB Clio Cup, is Pete Newman. Pete Newman, he's a very fast driver, but his opening laps in those reverse grid races are tentative. Adam Delmont just says, car, gap, go, gone. And he just makes up places like there's no tomorrow. He just bomb, 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 bomb. And before you know it, he's up 5, 6, 7 places. That is the driver that Delmont is like. And he can make the most out of a situation. His problem, his drawback, is that, you know, that end of race composure is side by side here between Mark Draper and Victor Brown. Draper trying to make the most of it, but Brown, of course, now trying to hang his way around the outside. Nicely done from Victor, who is, of course, second place in the AM race as it stands. Yeah, I think Delmont is going to be on fire in race 2.
I think he is as well. Final lap of the race now. Delmont has come over the line. He's heading down into what is known as the roller coaster. Stu Gibbons is having a nice little tidy battle with Fraser Elphick here once more, and Elphick and Gibbo side by side. So is Draper and Victor Brown. Brown here battling it out as well. Adam Delmont, though, I've got to be honest, has done an absolutely stellar job. I want to see what he does in race 2. He is done amazing. He's come over the line. He's taken points off Faulkner. He's taken points off everybody else. And JB, John Brown, is, if he's not careful, will come over the line in third, but it's a long run down there, JB. Be a little bit smart. And Victor Brown's going to come along and take a AM victory. Who's going to get it between Stu Gibbons and Fraser Elphick? Gibbo's gone wide. Elphick's gone a little bit tighter, but it is going to be between Gibbo here as well. That's a back marker of Carl Jacklett. I think Gibbo's going to get it. He is going to get it there as well. Great run from Gibbo as he comes over the line. And then we've got Barnsey further back, who will round off the podium and finished as well. So great job, great racing from that one. I kind of really think that this circuit has something. I think if you pick the right layout of this circuit, I think it could deliver some awesome races, and I really like it. I think it's a great circuit.
I think so too. I'd say, as long as it is, I'd say the full course, not the Grand East course, which is 6.7 kilometers long, which, by the way, is only 400 meters less than Spa is. I'd say the full course is better because you get more time on a straight, you get more overtaking opportunities. Yes, it's slightly longer and maybe less suited to TCRs, but I think it would make a bit of a better show. But here's race 1 at the North course.
Yeah, the results are in. As you can see, Adam Delmont is your winner there. Paddy Faulkner second, John Brown third, Ian Manners fourth, Adam McNally fifth, Mikey Pollard in sixth. Victor Brown 7th, Mark Draper, Stu Bickley, Michael Seal, Fraser Elphick, Stu Gibbons, Chris Barnes, Tom Anderson, Tom Woodcock, Michael Leese, and then Carl Jacklett. And then beyond that one, you've got Ross Fowler, JB Dijou, and Dec Craver. Of course, Rob Williams did not take to the start as well. He's just had some unfortunate moments as Rob Williams, should we say. And that's probably about as much as I'm going to say on that. But unfortunately, he had to go and deal with something at the last minute. So, tough one for Rob, but I'm sure he would love to be back here next week as well as we go to Lime Rock West, as we will be hopefully welcoming back John O'Cook, who's in YouTube chat. This layout is great to drive, terrible for overtaking. Well, I can't really agree with you on that one, Jono.
I can.
You would. We did see some overtakes. Michael Seal up 10 places. He must have done some overtaking.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. Yeah, that's fair. But you're mixing up sort of correlation and causation. The correlation is that the correlation, the things that match up, are the fact that he has made up 10 places at Virginia International Raceway. The causation isn't the fact that he's at Virginia International Raceway. The causation is there were incidents, there were, other circumstances that allowed him to make up those 10 places. He didn't necessarily do it purely because this track allows good overtaking. absolutely, you can make up places. It just doesn't necessarily mean that the track is good for you to make up those places. It just means that you have to go and find them somewhere else. It means that you have to be a little bit more clever, a little bit more consistent, find the gaps that no one else really will. This course in particular, he's right. There's only one big-ish overtaken opportunity, and that's into turn number 1, which we didn't really see much of. The rest of it is small little straight, twisty bit, small little straight, twisty bit, and no one can really make moves there like that unless there's a mistake or something else that happens. Virginia International Raceway in of itself doesn't promote good racing in terms of you get 3 wide cars going, side by side for 4 corners. You're not really going to get that here. You might, but you're not really going to. But what it does mean is that you have to be consistent, you have to be clever, you have to know what you're doing, you have to know what you're driving, how to drive it, and you have to be better than those around you. So yeah, in that aspect, it was a good race. But in terms of sheer overtaking opportunities, no, I wouldn't say that Virginia has many.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, maybe you're saying that's fine. I will say one thing, go back and watch season 1 at the South Course in the Clios. That's all I'm going to say to that one. Go and have a look at that.
It's a different track.
Yeah, it's the South Course. It's still part of Virginia, but it is the South Course. You've got the last little bits at the bottom. And that developed great overtaking. I'd love to whack a race on the Grand Course, mind you. 6.55 kilometres in length, 4 miles of circuit. To me, that would be very interesting just to see what they would get out of this, I think, as well. So, very interesting.
I think the ground course would be good because
what cars?
All of them, apart from single seaters. I don't F4s maybe, but yeah, these touring cars would do it because you regain access to that long back straight, and you have more overtaking opportunities there. To be fair, Virginia is just really wiggly for some reason, and there are so many of those so undeniably stupid corner numbering systems. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 4B. And then it's like, okay, we're at turn 5 now, which is turn 6. Then you get turn A, turn B, turn A, turn 6, turn 6A, turn 6B. then you get 7. Then you get 8A, 8B, 9A, 9B. Then you get 10 ABC. You're just going through your alphabet. Then you get to turn 12. There's more ABCs. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then it finishes off the lap. There's just, I don't understand it. Like, as good of a layout as it might be because you have that ridiculously long back straight off the oak tree, why?
Okay, here is the grid for race 2. Tom Woodcock will take pole position. Anderson, Barnes and Gibbo all front 4. Then you got Fraser Uppitt, Michael Seals, Stuart Bickley, Mark Draper, Victor Brown, Mikey Pollard, Adam McNally, and then Ian Manners from there. John Brown, Paddy Faulkner, Adam Darmont, Michael Lees, Carl Jacklett, Russ Fowler, JB Deju, and Dec Crowther. And of course, we know we haven't got Rob Williams because he had a little bit of an emergency. The lights are coming on here as well, and we are green. And for somebody in the blue there, I'm not too sure who it was, that was Tom Anderson. He literally went nowhere. Woodcock's got a bit of a run out here as well. Bickley's getting himself involved. So is Chris Barnes. You can see all the way here, Tom Anderson has slid down the order faster than me, eating a McDonald's on a bobsleigh. I am not going to lie, he is down 11 places and we've only got 3 corners. He's got to hold it. He's not going to hold it. He's come across. That's the number 96 car alongside him there as well. That is currently Paddy Faulkner, who needs to gain positions here because he lost some points at the beginning to Adam Dalmont. But you can see at the moment, Tom Woodcock has got a barnstorming start and then his battle commencing behind him.
Yeah, Woodcock really getting away quite nicely. Same too with Elphick. So good job on them, those two parts, just to get away from everything. Side by side here, Stuart Bickley, Michael Seal potentially running side by side as the absolute train of cars behind all try and settle their way through. It all comes down to trust. You are putting so much faith in the car in front not to miss an apex, not to run wide, not to spin themselves out, not to suddenly slam on their brakes because the car in front. You are flying blind and you are driving purely on that basis, which is scary, and it does put a lot of risk, but it's the risk you have to take because it's sink or it's swim, and if you let off even once, you are firmly going to sink, as that is very wide, and everyone just finds their way past. There's more cars doing it.
Yeah, Victor Brown there. There's Stuart Bickley going into the pits. Adam Dalmont's trying to gain positions. He's up 5 at the moment, sitting in 10th. He's just running alongside Russ Fowler here. And as well, when he goes and pips John Brown, sorry, I should say, as well as nearly hitting the back of Ian Manners, who is battling away with Stuart Gibbo and Mikey Pollard. So for Mikey Pollard, he needs to hold Adam Dalmont back, because obviously Pollard is second in the championship. Gibbo's taking a trip across the grass there, a little bit of a lawnmower moment going on. Dalmont up another position into 7th. He has gained 8 already. Here's that great run from Adam Dalmont on the moment. Seems to be making the most of this reverse grid, picking them off one by one and letting people make mistakes.
Yeah, that is pretty much it. It's just, you made a mistake. Okay, I'll take your position for free. There is, oh, that was close. Dalmont keeping his foot in quite nicely. Picks his way up in a 6th. Mikey Pollard just says, yeah, all right, fair enough. What is going on in the background there? Tom Anderson and Adam McNally, I think, had a bit of contact. McNally is now off the road. Oh well, let's have a little. Oh no!
I don't think Anderson's going to save that. He's going to hit the grass.
Boink.
Doink. And that's McNally and Anderson back in the pits there. There is this run train from Carl Jacklet to Stuart Gibbons. We've still got the arms at the front with Woodcock and Barnes rounded out 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Then it's Ian Manners. Then it's Dalmont Pollard and everybody else coming up behind here as well. And it's a shame for Pollard. He couldn't quite hold Dalmont back long enough because he needs to. He lost positions. He lost points to Dalmont in race 1. He's going to lose it by the looks of it in the feature race as well. But it's minimising that loss, and he really needed to be staying above Dalmont as much as he physically could here.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, well, you know, if things aren't necessarily going your way in a race, all you have to do is make it seem less bad than it already is. If you have a poor qualifying, a poor race, just make sure the next one isn't as bad. Do the job that you can. Don't give up, is what I'm saying. Score as many points as you can. You never know. Dalmont could have a disconnect. Dalmont could make a mistake and crash out. Be in it to win it, so much so that if something does happen, you can then benefit the most out of it and still be able to potentially come out on top. And worst case scenario, you lose 5 or 10 points, which at the end of the day really aren't the end of the world. So just keep trucking along, because especially at Virginia International Raceway, anything can happen. It's racing, it's touring cars. Stay in it no matter what. You might find that just by staying in the race and by showcasing your pace, you can still gain 2, 3, 4 places, plus some incidents and this, that and the other. And by staying clean very quickly, probably similar to Michael Seal in race 1, I suppose, in that you find yourself very quickly gaining more places than you'd expect. Yeah,
Manners going on the defensive. He's taking that inside line. Dalmont's got the fastest lap of the race. Manners is going to surely, yes, he had to. He had to from Ian Manners. He had to go in. He's now got to try and get across the nose of Dalmont coming into this turn 2. Round Nascar we go. He does manage to get it there as well. He stops Dalmont once more. It's getting very close because Pollard is trying to gain up from that 2nd he's got at the moment once more. And the longer that Manners does this, the more opportunity Pollard has got to close in. So it's vitally important that Manners holds on. I think he's got to hold on for as long as physically possible here. It's going to be tough for him because Adam Dalmont, as we know, is amazing in front-wheel drive cars. He drives the Clios. He does this one. He is absolutely incredible. Russ Fowler in the mix, battling away with JB as well, who is also trying to get away, currently sitting 6th in class. He's up 5. Fowler's up 9 places. The biggest down at the moment is 16 with Tom Anderson and 10 with Stuart Bickley, who, fair play to the young lad, he's still running. So go Bickers, don't give up, mate. You never know what's going to come your way. But this battle with Manners and Dalmont rages on. 23 minutes remaining of this feature race. Don't forget the feature is 30 minutes long. It's not 20, and an absolute stellar job from Dalmont currently, which he seems to be doing really well, Zach. I think that's the thing from Dalmont. When we've seen him sometimes in the Clios, he seems to rush the moves. He seems to make him get involved in stuff that he doesn't need to do. And he's been seeming a lot more patient in the TCRs. I think if he could swap that over to the Clios, I think he would have a great opportunity, maybe not this season, but next season, to really go at Pete Newman, because I think from his point of view, I think Newman has got that reverse grid a lot more under control than Dalmont has. I think that's the thing. Dalmont seems to rush it. Newman's like the Iceman, you know what I mean? It reminds me of the Iceman out of Top Gun. He's just calm, cool, collected for Newman, and Dalmont's a bit like Maverick. He's a bit more rush. Do you know what I mean?
Never seen Top Gun, so I wouldn't know. All I know is that there's jets and Tom Cruise is in it, and Great Balls of Fire is played on the piano. I've never seen Top Gun, neither of them.
Get off this broadcast, right? Get hold of the wifey, get her to have a cuddle up and sit and watch Top Gun, and then watch Top Gun 2, and actually appreciate some decent, things and
get
decent
paid
film.
for going to watch it.
No, it's research. It's for your own capabilities and your own brain cells to compute that there was more films than what you've got nowadays that are actually decent. I can give you a list of good films from the old days, mate, if you want.
Were the TVs coloured back then?
No, we had to wind them up. They were in like a big, massive, it was almost like a generator. You had to wind it up and then the TV sparked into life, and Dalmont's tried that outside line so many times. He has looked a little bit more forward than he was over the last couple of laps. Manners is not going to get that inside line, which is what he needed. Dalmont's going to stick his nose up the inside again. Here we go. Now Dalmont's going to have the inside. Manners is going to try that switchback. He's not going to be able to do it. And now Dalmont is entering into territory where you've got a very fast Michael Seal in front of you. That this, again, for Dalmont, if Manners can stay with him, this battle between Sealy, Manners and Dalmont could get very, very spicy there as well. If you remember Top Gun in YouTube chat, let me know as well, because obviously that was part of my growing up when it came out as well. So yeah, Fowler off the side of the circuit. He's going to be a little bit argy-bargy here as well. That's Paddy Faulkner trying to have a little bit of what Paddy does best, a little bit of elbow banging from Paddy there, but Fowler does manage to hold on. Oh, Paddy. Top one.
Nah, that was a launch.
The problem is the gap was there.
Yeah.
The gap,
I mean, to be fair, yeah, there was a big sign that with an arrow that said,
"Go up the inside.
Overtake me here."
Yeah.
So he was invited in. Unfortunately, it was a trap, and it did kind of get slammed in his face a little bit. But sometimes things are too good to be true. I don't know. I think there were more that both could have done. That is a good move from Adam Dalmont. Nicely, just to nip his way on the inside. Beautifully done. That is how it is done. And he's up to 4th. And a podium is the minimum for Dalmont so far this race.
Yeah, he's sitting 3rd in class at the moment, of course, as well. Seeley's in his class. That was Barnsley's not. Barnsley's in the AMS. He's trying to chase down Woodcock at the moment. So, as you can see, Woodcock is still winning. Elphic's gone out and literally dominated this. He's left all the traffic behind. He cleared the AMS really quickly at the beginning. Did Fraser Elphick. He's up 4 places already, and he's 4 seconds out in front. And the problem is for Dalmont, he has got a very hard charging Michael Seal here as well. And Seeley ain't a rollover. I can tell you that much now. If Seeley was a sumo wrestler, he would be the biggest one. He will get his elbows out. He will give Dalmont a run for his money. money, and I can guarantee that he will defend hard. So from Delmont, he's got to make that move. Seeley directly to the right-hand side here, clears that white line as well. Now it's a drag race. Who's going to get this down into turn one? We know the Velocitor's got some pace over that Honda, but he's not got Adam Delmont at the wheel. Adam is at the wheel of the Honda. He's going to do it round the outside. He's going to keep trying. They're going to bang side arms here as well. Seeley with his elbows out, sticking them up in the air and saying, no, no, no. What is Barnes going to do? I don't think Chris Barnes really wants to get involved with this battle, but unfortunately these guys are bringing him in here as well. It's almost not wanting to take a Tesco's carrier bag in the Waitrose, but it looks like Barnesy ain't going to have no choice to do his grocery shopping there either, because these two are bringing him into this battle, and I think Zach is going to be very interested.
Oh yeah, very much so. Look at that. We've got two cars fighting it out for position, and then many waiting in the wings. You can see Seal versus Delmont. Delmont going to the left. He's going to try and sweep his way to the outside, but Seal's not going to have absolutely any of it. He chucks his move to the inside, and Delmont, I don't think he's very happy with that.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I think that was fair game.
I think it was fair game as well. Delmont's not going to get... There's no point flashing Seal. He's in your class. He is there fighting for position. I told you he ain't a rollover. If he was a bear, he'd been a big brown bear up in the Canadian forest, mate, that you're going to meet up there while on the hunting trip for little old deer. You ain't going to get this. You ain't going to get this. He ain't going to roll over. He's definitely not going to roll over, Michael Sill, and he's in his right. He is in your class. That is his job to do. Now for Barnes, he's got a decision here. Does he allow Mikey Pollard to go through and say, look, these are holding me up. You go for it. They're in your class. You can overtake them. Barnes isn't stupid. And he's not a dumb racing driver. He has got the racecraft that everybody wants. He doesn't get himself in battles he doesn't need. And Delmont nearly lost a nose there as well with Michael Sill. Oh, I told you, Seeley's putting up a stealth defense. Delmont's going to try that cutback. Seeley's tightened it up. He's taken this defensive line once more. He's slowed Delmont down, and it's... Oh, blimey. That could have been worse for Adam Delmont.
Yeah, he's being aggressive. He's being punchy. I think he just wants to take everything that he can out of this race, but he's got to be so careful. He's going to try it once again to the outside. Look at the difference in the posture. You could see how much earlier he broke in attempting to get an up and under. He's learning. He's adapting lap by lap, and that's what you do as a racing driver. You are constantly evolving and adapting and changing your mindset and your methodology to go for moves like that. He's waited and that didn't work, so next lap he's going to try something different, because the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And that is what you have to do as a racing driver, is change, constantly fine-tune and tweak your attack to, you know, mold it to the driver that you're fighting. That is what Delmont is doing. He's seeking the best way through, and he's going to try it to the outside of turn number one. I don't think
he's tried
this
it
is going
all
to
the
work.
time. No, he's tried it all the time. Seeley's put that Veloster right up the inside of him. He's run Delmont wide as well. Delmont nearly almost got it. They're going to be banging doors. Delmont needs to hold on to that inside line. Seeley needs to stop him. I don't think he's going to be able to, though. I think the SRL Next Gen is going to have it, and I think Delmont has got it. Delmont did get it this time. He tried that outside line lap after lap after lap, and he did get it done there as well. You could see what Barnes... Oh, Pollard on his own, I think. It's gone round. Barnes, he let him go through. He's let Manners through as well. But unfortunately for Mikey Pollard, he's taken a trip off the side of the circuit. Oh, there was contact with Manners. It was contact with Manners, and now Pollard is all the way down here as well. Draper's trying to battle his way through with Russ Fowler as well. Here, these guys are in the same class, both pros. They are free to fight there as well. That is another good film, Alan. Naked Gun 33 and a third. If you haven't seen that one either, go and have a watch back of that. That is absolutely hilarious. So enjoy that one, Zach. There's some interesting things for you to be looking at over the next few days for homework.
Am I going to get like a pop quiz on it? Am I going to get like a...
You'll have 25 questions to answer. If you can't answer the questions, then unfortunately we'll have to discuss your upcoming holiday pay for the last year.
Yeah, holiday. Do we get holiday pay?
No, you don't, unfortunately. But we'll discuss that off broadcast there as well, Mr. Sweeney. John Brown finding out with Paddy Faulkner here, and it's a Honda versus a Veloster. Barnsley's in front. I don't think Barnsley again is going to get himself involved unless he really, really has to. Michael Seal has lost time to Dalmont now. Dalmont's now making beelines as we've got 15, just under 14 minutes to go here. So let's see what happens with Adam Dalmont and whether or not he can get hold of Tom Woodcock. I don't think he's going to get Fraser Elphick. Elphick's doing a 130. Dalmont, mind you, is doing a 129. He's half a second per lap quicker, but I don't think he's going to have enough here, Zach.
No, it is going to be difficult. Yeah. What was he got? 9 seconds to Elphick. Yeah, I mean, he's going to need a lot more than that. What have we done? We've done 10.5 laps and we're just over halfway through. So say we've got 10 more laps, give or take. That's going to be 5 seconds gained if he could continue to half a second quicker. He could get Woodcock and he could move himself in a second overall, but that's not really going to benefit him too much. Ideally, he needs Elphick to absolutely make a huge mistake and also not make any of himself. John Brown, Paddy Faulkner coming to blows, somehow continue to point the right way, but could have been a little bit worse.
I don't know if John JB was already out of sync there. Trying to find if I can go back just a little bit further. Yeah, this is quite a long way back, unfortunately, but we might have a better idea whether or not JB was all out of line on his own or whether or not there was contact from Paddy to set him off here. As well as going to be happening in the next couple of corners, guys, so bear with us while we just see if there was initial contact between these two once more. And did JB get spun by this man? Well, we're going to find out, I think, very, very shortly as Paddy battles it up behind him. Can't see, I'm trying to find the best position. That's probably the best one. And we'll see if Paddy had a bit of a moment with JB and whether or not JB got it all wrong on his own. So let's keep an eye on this one for a little bit. I think we are a little bit far back here. Let me see if I can just bring this forward a little bit out. Tough one. Not really sure where we can. I don't know. I'll have to try and have a look at that one a little bit later on here as well to see how far back JB was and whether or not there was contact. Michael Seal has got Ian Manners closing him down. 11 minutes remaining. Woodcock's got Dalmont 3 seconds back at the moment. Dalmont's got 8.3 to Elphick in front again. Zach, I don't think he's got enough. I don't think he's going to be able to do it there.
Nah, me neither. It's yeah, definitely not to Elphick. Definitely, I mean, probably Woodcock, but again, that doesn't really benefit him. Elphick needs to make a huge mistake in this race, or Dalmont needs to somehow magically put a rocket ship in the back of his car and drive the wheels off the thing, or probably just fly. That might work. But unfortunately, touring cars don't do that the last time I checked, so I think he's going to be a little bit out of luck for that one. Close fight here, though. Michael Seal versus Ian Manners, who's going to chuck the move nicely to the inside. Seal made that a lot easier for Manners than he did Dalmont.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed that as well. Seeley did go on a massive defence on Dalmont. Didn't really hold that line there. Chris Barnes going forward as well. I think Michael Seal picked and chose his battles there. Let's just put it that way. Because of where Belmont was in the championship, I'm probably going to gather from that. Looking out the back of Seeley's Veloster at the moment, looking onto the nose of another Veloster of Chris Barnes. Barnsley again driven a great race here once more. Will be his second podium of the evening. So let's see if he can wrap up 2 out of 2 for Chris Barnes and give himself a nice little point haul there as well. Performance League Esports, Red and the lead team here with Russ Fowler in the lead and then Red be in front in the situation of Victor Brown. Me personally, let them go at it. I think, Zach, no need to get Victor Brown out of the way. He's clearly on the same pace as Fowler and make Fowler work for it. I think that's going to be the easiest way, I think, on that one.
Yeah, they're race drivers at the end of the day. Go out there, make them do what they do best. I mean, yeah, have a little bit of consideration for each other, because that's the law of the land, really. You know, the golden rule of motorsport, not only sim racing but motorsport in general. Don't smack into the person out there on track who you really don't want to smack into, i.e. your teammate. But you know, be sensible, but go at it. You know, there's no reason why you have to, you know, walk on eggshells around each other just because you share the same racetrack. You're all there for a common goal. You all want to finish as high as you can. So if the opportunity arises to race each other. Don't go for silly moves, and you know, have some respect, but just give an extra car's length, extra half a car's width, and good to go, mate.
I fully agree. I think that all of this modern racing that we see, should we say, that takes place at multiple tracks across the world, where there is a lead and a second, I don't fully accept that should be happening. Fowler did clear Brown, but whether or not that was Brown just making it a little bit more straightforward for Fowler, or Fowler actually got the job done. Draper and Crowther are going at each other. These are obviously friends and sitting in the same voice chat, if I'm not mistaken, so that would be quite interesting if these guys come to contact there as well. I think at the end of the day, I don't get this number one, number two gabble, right? You know, let them race, and I think there could be more people involved in a certain team. That's what's been defined at the moment. We've watched a very dominated series this season in F1 by Verstappen. You know, there's a whole heap of conspiracy around what Perez has happened here as well, but I think overall, let them get on with it. Let them go, you know what I mean? And see who's the best from there, innit? That's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah. If you're going to win, do it because you're the best, not because your teammate rolled over and got his belly tickled.
Oh, stealing my lines, Mr. Sweeney.
Do you have a patent? Do you have a trademark?
It's on a t-shirt.
Oh, it's on a t-shirt. That's fine.
Yeah,
So if I put Google on a t-shirt, does that make me Bill Gates?
Yes. Anything
No,
patented from JPB or out of my wonderful trap is patented. So, you know, you've now got to pay me money. All right? Once we see what Michael Seal
They do when they buy your t-shirt?
Yes. Really not my fault on that one either, so be nice. Looking back at Chris Barnes, who's looked very consistent here as well for Barnes. He's got to keep it ahead of Jacqueline. He needs to take some points out of Jacqueline to move him forward. So let's see how this develops over the next few laps once more for Barnes and Jacqueline. I think this could come together really nicely here. Both of these are tough racers. I think the AM fight could really develop for second and third there. Copyright infringement, says Handsome Stew. I fully agree as well, but clearly Zach doesn't. So.
Huh?
Exactly. Rude. 5 minutes remaining here, Zach.
No, not long enough to go at all. It's flown by. And we're now down to what, the final 3-4 laps left to go.
Yep.
Fraser after Tom Woodcock leading the way, but we've got Adam Delmont half a second behind Woodcock, so that's going to be an interesting fight for overall position. But I'll be honest, if I was Woodcock, you've got Delmont, Manners, Seal, Barnes. So if Delmont overtakes you, you've still got 3 places back to Barnes, who's in second in the AMs. Still decent points. Just let him go. That's what I would do.
I think so as well. But he's got to fight with Jacqueline. Barnes has got to go with Jacqueline, as John Brown is now trying to make a move past Russ Fowler. These guys battling away. Brown, JB's got the inside line. Is he going to be able to make it work? He's not at the moment. You can see battles further back there as well. That's Mark Draper, Michael Leeson, Victor Brown having a bit of a ding-dong further back here as well. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Elphick's out in front. Woodcock has got Delmont for company. Now, this would be the situation of just letting him go, I think, Zach.
Yeah, that is going to be the way that he wins this scenario. I mean, he can, by all means, stay fighting for second, but it's not going to change the fact whether if he's second or third overall. Not only Second or third is an overall podium. Who really cares if you finish second or third? Either way, they're going to say you got an overall podium. Also, the more important thing is that either way, you are going to be winning the AM race. So, what's the point? Just let him go. Let him take second place or whatever and chase after Fraser Elphick to his heart's content. Or go out there and try and have some fun. I think he is going to just allow him through. Yeah, he is just going to lift and coast. Nice. That's the right decision. Because why risk it? Every corner that you defend is another opportunity that Delmont breaks too late and smacks into the back of you. Every corner that you defend is another corner where he could push you wide or you could push him wide and end up with a penalty. Not worth the risk for literally no reward whatsoever. Keep the gap, keep the lead, and just cruise to the end.
Yeah, Michael Seal, we say about rolling over for your teammate. I think Michael Seal may have just rolled over for Paddy Faulkner. I think that move was a little bit more easier than what we've seen Seeley give. Jacklett has cleared there. Yeah, look, Seeley rolls over, lets Paddy Faulkner through as well. Obviously, DCWR, which is the recruitment team into the AI race summaries. Barnesy did lose that place to Carl Jacklett as well. So, yeah, Carl Jacklett has managed to make the move over Barnes. I don't think Barnes is going to give up, and I'd be very surprised if this is done, but Jacklett has again looked quick here as well. Update on Mikey Pollard. He got a meatball flag on his contact that he had where he went off on lap 10. So unfortunately for Pollard, he didn't want to go a lap down, so it made it more sense for him just to finish. That's what he did. So let's see what goes on here. And Paddy Faulkner trying to clear these two AMs at the moment.
Yeah, he is. He's had an interesting evening as Paddy Faulkner. He's quick. He's just had a little bit of a couple of ding-dongs along the way, but still 7th overall, and would like to keep Michael Seal behind. And I think the only way he can do that is by carving his way through these couple of AM drivers, just to solidify himself, get a couple more cars between himself and Seal. You know, just seal the move, but, well, that's not really going to work anyway, because Michael Seal just chucks the move to turn 1, finds his way through as well, and follows that inside line. However, Chris Barnes has chucked the move back to the inside. It's the long way round for the next left. He's going to keep his foot, and of course Seal is going to fight it, but it slowed him down.
Yeah, Seeley will fight it, but I can guarantee Chris Barnes wouldn't have fought that. He already lifted there as well. Fowler now with JB right behind him. These, of course, are in the two pros. DCWR is a feeder team for the Air Ice, but we love that you say it. It's a great wind-up, and we're all for the balance. Well, all right, Piercy, but tell me then why Seeley rolled over and let Faulkner through. That looked like a rollover for me. It looks like my little dash arm when I go in and call his name. He rolls over, all 4 paws go up in the air, and I have to give his belly a good old rub. And that's what Faulkner looked like he did to Seeley there. So, you know, don't come up with that with team orders. I think you've got a little bit. You've got a little bit as Elphick's going to come over the line. Barney's going to be waving this time around. Tom Woodcock did lose that place to Adam Delmont, but to be honest, it was no surprise. Delmont isn't going to be able to get Fraser Elphick, but has done a great job recovering back up into second there, Zach, as well. So a good haul of points for Delmont. This is going to bring him right back in to the situation. I think that's great for him. This could be a nice little tidy 3 or 4 car battle going into the final 3 races.
Oh, yeah. It has been... to be fair, just a great season. I can't fault it so far. I think the American Tour has been awesome. The first season of JPB TCRs was also a success. Looking forward to seeing what the future holds. But yeah, these guys coming down to it. I mean, what did we have? 1 point in the pros coming into today?
Yeah.
So, yeah, bring it on. We've got 3 more weeks of action and six more races, and what's that, an hour, so 6 times 50 minutes, 300 minutes of racing, which is 5 hours, I think, exactly worth of racing. So still plenty of it left to go. Bring it on.
Yeah, I think as well, and I'm really looking forward to Road Atlanta. We're on the full course as well. We're not going to take him onto that short course. We're on the full course at Road Atlanta. I think that's going to be absolutely incredible with that run down into 10A here. But here he comes, your pro winner overall, your overall winner, Fraser Elphick, comes over the line. He ends up leaving Delmont with a 6-second gap. there as well, and great battling out in the arms. It was Tom Woodcock who come over the line and took that position, so a great run from Woodcock. Ian Manners with a third place there, stellar run from him. Carl Jacklett did manage to hold on to second, so Carl there gives himself a little bit of a boost after his race one, and Barnesy did what Barnesy does best, manage the traffic, manage the pros, and takes a podium. So there you go. What was that crash just there? Did we miss something there? Did this turn into an incident? No, Michael Lees just runs wide, and Mark Draper goes through. I don't think there was anything else. We got... No, I can't answer your question on that one, unfortunately for you, but let's bring the results up of the feature race once more and see how it all panned out. Fraser Elphick is your winner with Adam Dalmont second, Tom Woodcock third, Ian Manners in fourth, and Carl Jacklett fifth with Paddy Faulkner, Michael Seal and Chris Barnes. So your 1, 2, 3 in the pros is Elphick, Dalmont, Manners. In the AMs it's Woodcock, Jacklett and Barnes. Then you got Fowler, JB John Brown in 10th, Mark Draper 11th, Michael Lees in 12th. Victor Brown ended up in 13th, with Derek Criver 14th, Stuart Bickley, Mikey Pollard and Stu Gibbons. On from that is Anna McNally, Tom Anderson, who had a coming together, and JB Deju, who unfortunately didn't start. Before you went to P1 over the line.
Huh?
I know, I can't think who that would have been.
Before you went to Eh?
I can't answer that one. But I tell you, Mr. Brown. Oh, that was JB and somebody else having their own little tat there. So, yeah, JB, I think, having a coming together, who we're going to have a chat with as well. Let's see if I can get him in to that one. Anybody else in that room? Nope. I want anybody else in that room. We've got Ian Manners, Tom Woodcock and Adam Dalmont to have a chat with. Let's have our normal conversation. Let's start with Carl Jacklett. He managed to grab a podium in race 2. Stellar job from you again, Carl, this evening, cementing your place at the top of the on the top of the AM standings. But it is getting close. You can't let up, can you, dear sir?
Never let up in that second race. Was that from 17th, I think it was. So yeah, very pleased with that. I was absolutely on it the whole way. Race 1 was a bit of a disappointment. I got squeezed onto the grass right at the start. And
what was your opinion on that? Because, you know, I know obviously JB's going to have a different opinion on the situation. What was yours on that one? Do you feel you were alongside?
Yeah, I was. Absolutely alongside. Looking at the replay of it, and he just squeezed me all the way onto the grass.
Right, okay.
I should have backed out, really. But
is that one of them hindsight's a wonderful thing?
It is. But, you know, we're racers. Do we back out?
No, not really.
No.
You never do.
And I got away with it fairly well. Unfortunately, I gave Tom a bit of a whack, which I'm going to apologise to him for when I catch up with him. That was unfortunate. And then I got caught out with a spinning pro, which destroyed the car, which really spoilt the race. Yeah, that was out of my control. But that second race, I was absolutely on it the whole way. That was great. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, absolutely. You've done a stellar job as well. Be interesting to see where you come out in the points there as well after the race 1, but we will see what happens. Carl, thank you so much, as always, for joining me. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to Tom for picking him out. You know, big apologies.
All right, mate. No worries at all. Well, Carl, thank you so much there, buddy. And I look forward to having a chat with you on Monday. Monday?
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Yes, mate. Take care, Carl, and I'll chat to you then.
Ciao, ciao.
All right, and let's have a chat with your Victor in race 2, Tom Woodcock. There, an absolutely stellar run from him. Bit scary starting on pole. Did manage to hold on to 3rd overall, though. But, Tom, what was it like on pole position for race 2?
Oh, it was certainly quite intimidating. Yeah, it was really good, though. Brilliant race. Well, kind of. Yeah, I was kind of by myself for most of it.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, does it? You got away, you opened up the gap, you stayed out of trouble, managed Adam Delmont great at the end there, towards the end of the race, let him go, which, to be honest, was sensible, because he probably would have been coming through. It was easier to let him go. But overall, you know, a great victory. That's your first one of the season, isn't it? Oh no!
I've had two race 1 victories. That's my first proper second race 2.
Yeah, that's your first feature victory.
Yeah.
So well done to you.
Yeah.
There. So going forward, how's your season been? What are you looking forward to over the last 3 races?
Well, it's been a bit of a disappointing season, really. Because I don't want to sound like a bellend, but I think I've been the fastest AM driver on 1 lap pace every single week. I would have had a lot of bad luck. With just a couple of race 1 victories, but apart from that, hasn't really been that good. Yeah, hopefully just keep the momentum for the next couple of races and maybe get a second. I'm not sure.
Well, you got Lime Rock Road, Atlanta Forward, Daytona, NASCAR Road. Which one's your favourite?
Lime Rock. I race a lot on the V's. I think that's my most won track, but that's obviously not in the touring cars.
Tom, you better get out practicing there, buddy, as well, because that's coming up in a week's time, young sir. Thank you so much, Tom, for joining me. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Of course, you lovely guys at JPB. Couldn't do it without you. It's a brilliant league. And my teammate Kev Aylett. He couldn't be with us today, but he's been a great help. Right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy. You take care. Let's have a quick chat with Paddy.
Sorry, I was talking in the broadcast interview room. Sorry.
I figured that was what was going on there. I hate to interrupt mid-sentence, but, you know, generally somebody's coming. Listen, 2nd place in race 1. That weren't too bad. Yeah. Topped off with a 4th in race 2. Yeah. Again, what was the thoughts on some of the things that happened to you, Paddy, there, especially with John Brown? How did you see that with JB?
Do you know what, Mr. John Brown? Hello, JB. Hello, everybody on the internet that probably hates me right now, but hey ho, I'm used to it. Okay, John Brown, really good battle with him. We was pretty nose to tail. He was defending extremely hard. And that was the thing, you know, I had a little gap. You can't come off, I can't know what corner it is. Anyway, everybody's braking way before, and I could brake way later into the corner, so I was using that as my advantage. John Brown saw that and covered it off, which was fine. Lap 11, coming out of the last corner, he was going through the twisty bits with pretty close nose to tail. It looked, from my replay, that he was losing the rear end as he was entering the last corner. And being so close together, I tapped him slightly. And of course, he instantly turned right. And I'm already, I'm stuck to him like glue. I'm braking, lifting off, trying to get away from him. And that's the way it was. Like I said, I've just been talking to the other SRL guys. Nothing's intentional. We are nose to tail. If you lose the rear end and it snaps out and I'm literally right on you, it's going to happen. It's not intentional. It's just close, hard racing. And that's all that was. And it was a really good battle up until that point. And it was unintentional. I don't appreciate him calling me a wrecking ball, because that's not how it happened. You lose control of your car. That's not my problem. Yes, we're very, very close. We're close racing. That's what TCRs are all about.
Yeah.
And that was it. And most of the time, the contacts I had were 0Xs. No instant points, because it wasn't, a neither here or there. And yes, I exploited some areas where I was quicker than others. And that was it. So yeah, race 2, tricky, really was tricky, but 4th place, that's really good. I'm really happy. Keeps me just in front of Fraser, I hope. Just in front, because he had a bad race 1. So.
Oh, mate. Well, we
Yeah,
will.
go on, JP. Tell me off.
No,
What have I done wrong?
I'm not going to tell you off, Paddy. To be honest, it did look like JB was losing the back end and you didn't have anywhere to go. So I'm not going to tell you off, mate. Racing's racing.
No,
I'm going to let you go back and have a watch back and crack on with your evening there, mate. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go, bud?
Always the DCW guys, you guys, and my son who was 18 last week. So big shout out to him. I didn't come and say hello to you last time, so he doesn't watch. But hey, I said it anyway. But yeah, thanks for everything, guys. You do a great job.
Awesome stuff. Well, Paddy, take care, mate, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week at Lime Rock.
Brilliant, mate. Have a good one.
All right, let's have a chat with one Mr. Adam Dalmont, who took the win in race 1. Another driver I feel we've just caught in mid-conversation there as well. And then he finishes in 2nd place. He manages to calmly make his way through the reverse grids. He was Iceman, he wasn't Maverick, and he reaped the rewards with a plus 13 gain. But let's have a chat with him and see how he feels about it. Adam, welcome into the booth, dear sir. How are you?
Good evening, chaps. I'm good. I'm good. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just
That's all right, mate.
telling Carl he's well done.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Paddy was in the middle of conversation when I took him in Evo. It seems to be a thing with you guys that you don't stop talking once that person comes back down. So,
No.
You know, not a bad run from you, mate. 1st and a 2nd. Gained points on the people in front of you in Faulkner and Pollard and Elphick. Can you do it over the next 3 rounds? You've got Lime Rock West, Road Atlantic Fall, and Daytona Nascar Road.
It's definitely doable, but because all those drivers in front of me have done every round, whereas I missed round 1. So obviously I've got a decent drop score on there. And yeah, I just need to keep plugging away and just trying to get the finishes. You know, if I can pick up a couple of wins here and there, then brilliant. But you know, aim is to just try and finish top 5 both races, really.
Yeah, I think that's an important situation, isn't it? And I think that will be probably how it will go for you. I think you will end up gaining points. You come in today 25 points back. You have gained points over the guys as well in front of you. What were your aspirations coming in, Adam? Did you think you would come in and think you're going to take the title, or did you think, oh, actually, this is going to be a tough one?
No, do you know what? You can never guarantee anything, can you? And I mean, look at likes of Paddy and stuff. He's finding some, genuinely, he's finding some mega pace. Race 1, he kept me honest. He did last week. I think he's just at that cusp where he's just pushing that little bit too hard to try and keep on the bat, and then the little mistakes, like sometimes what I was doing with Pete. You're pushing that hard, a little mistake comes, and you can match on pace, but those little odd 10th mistakes, and then the gap starts growing, and then you start pushing a bit harder, trying to close it back in, and then making more mistakes, and before you know it, they're a couple of seconds up the road. But it's a shame Carl and Dan are in it as well, because there's Fraser as well, who's rapid. Just a bit unlucky in race 1, I think, is Fraser at the minute. But yeah, no, there's plenty of good drivers, mate. So it was never a given. But I think I'm just feeling really, really strong in the Civic at the minute.
Yeah, I think you are as well. And obviously, with only 3 rounds to go, 6 races on the clock, it's going to be very exciting to see what you're going to be able to do there, young man. Thank you so much for joining us as always, Adam. And I look forward to having a chat with you on Monday, no doubt. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, you guys as always for the running of it all, putting it all on for us drivers, the broadcasts, and SRL, Next Gen, and all their associate sponsors, and all the drivers as well, to make it as fun as it is.
Awesome stuff, mate. Well, Adam, I'll look forward to seeing what you can do at Phillip Island on Monday in the Clios, buddy. It's going to be an interesting one, and I will catch up with you then.
No worries. Have a good weekend and take care, guys.
And you, mate. Bye. Right, I want to have a chat before we bring the winner in here as well. I'll have a chat with one Mr. Ian Manners. Got a podium in race 2. He gained 8 places, which was an absolute stellar job here as well. Let's bring him into the booth. Let's have a conversation with him and see how he feels his evening has gone. Adam, welcome in. Ian, welcome into the booth. How are you, dear sir?
Not too bad. That went a lot better than I expected.
Well, a 4 for the third. That's not bad at all, is it?
No, I'm actually very pleased with it. It's not. I've not done that version of the circuit, and I didn't get much practice in.
Okay, but that's fine. You don't have to say sorry to me, mate. I wasn't the one in the car. You know what I mean? Did you enjoy it though? That's the question.
Yes. Second race, I actually managed to keep Adam back for a few laps, which I was more than happy with. I was quite surprised, if I'm being honest. A lot of defending. But unfortunately, I also tapped Mikey, so I have to apologise to him. He was just too slow.
Yeah, you gave him a meatball.
Yes, which I'm quite surprised about. It was, I think it was only 1x as well. It was only a little tap in the quarter. I tend to take that corner quite tight, and I just caught him and just spun him out.
Yeah.
So I do apologise to Mikey.
I'm sure it is what it was. I'm sure Mikey ain't going to hold a thing about it. A racing incident as well. Going forward, though, how do you see your natural progression over this season? You're sitting 8th in the championship. Do you think that's where you were expecting to be, or do you think you could have been a little bit higher up?
Yes, probably where I am. I was quite competitive tonight, so I was happy with that. To be honest, I come along for the racing. That's if I can battle somebody, whoever it is, pro-ams, anybody, that makes me happy. That's what I really enjoy is the battling.
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen some great battling here this season as well. Ian, thank you so much for coming in to join me. I wanted to have a chat and see how your evening's been. You know, going forward, we've got Lime Rock, Road Atlanta, Daytona, NASCAR Road Circuit. Any particular favourites out of them 3?
Not Lime Rock. I don't mind Daytona too much. The slipstream can be interesting and a bit frightening. You can all die in T1, and sometimes coming out the bus stop first is not always the best.
Well, you got the double on the road circuit, mate. You got the bus stop at the end as well.
Yeah. So it's I don't mind. I've raced all these tracks, so I'll just get on and just enjoy it. I haven't done this North version, but I've done VIR a few times. So I'm looking forward to all of them.
Awesome stuff. Well, Ian, thank you so much for coming into the booth there, sir. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Reese, who hasn't bothered to turn up tonight. I'm setting out to him. But anybody in the team, and again, I apologise to Mikey for my little mistake.
All right, bud. Well, enjoy yourself, Ian. Let's get some practice in because you're going to Lion Rock next week, mate. Let's see what you can do there.
I will do.
Take care, bud.
Thank you.
Right, now we're going to have a chat with your feature race winner. Finished 11th in race 1. Jumped 4 places right near the beginning of the feature. He come over the line. He took the win in the end by 6 seconds. So he was definitely on it here this evening. But let's have a chat with the man that is Fraser Elphick. Fraser, welcome into the booth there, sir. How are you?
Very good. Good evening, fellas. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Race 1, should we really talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about it.
All right, mate. Bit of a rough one for you.
Yeah, it was a strange one. I got a little bit tap in the back. It was nothing serious. I don't know if that was lap 2 or whatever. And I think I got into my head that I'd taken rear wing damage, and I was understeering everywhere, and I was convinced it was because of that. But I was just frustrated, and it kind of shook me. But then after another couple of laps, started getting up to pace, and I realized it was just me. I was just overdriving. I was just frustrated. So managed to get a few more positions back, and I ended up having a good battle with Michael Seal the last couple of laps. I think I had quite a bit of pace on him, but he was defending really well. We were side by side in a few corners, and it was good fun end to the race. Let's say race 1.
Yeah, it definitely was. And then you started in 5th in race 2, gained 4 positions there. as well, and then just went on the Sunday drive and dominated the race.
Well, after about lap 5, I had a big gap. I was like, right, I'm just gonna coast it in. And then I noticed Adam was setting some flying laps. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna actually have to try here now, So then had to pick up my pace a little bit. But by the time he'd got past everyone, there was just not enough laps left in the race for him to catch me. So Sunday drove it for a couple of laps, then I was like, no, I need to get back on it.
Need to start pushing there as well. Going to give you a nice little boost in the Drivers' Championship. Finish ahead of Pollard and Faulkner as well. Obviously, Paddy got the jump on you in race 1 there. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these points come out. What's your expectations, Fraser, from the remainder of this season? Are you expecting to be up there coming into the last few rounds? Because you're only sitting in 4th and you're only 5 points back going into this round.
I think I've always prided myself on being consistent. I wouldn't say I'm always the fastest, but the last couple of races, the last couple of rounds, one of the heats I've struggled in. So if I'm going to be competing, I need to get lucky and I need to be consistent. So it's not always about being the fastest driver. I wouldn't say I'm the slowest, but I'm not I'm not the fastest driver. But if I can be consistent, I think I've got a chance.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Consistency is the key, and I think you're doing a great job at that one as well, sir. So great run from you this evening. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go here tonight?
Yeah, just I think I briefly mentioned it, but we'll shout out Michael Seal. The last couple of laps there, we were aggressively driving against each other, but it was kept clean and it was good fun. Really enjoyed that. So that was the last few laps of Heat 1.
Awesome stuff.
Michael
Well,
Seal.
Thank you very much, Fraser, for joining me there, bud. I look forward to seeing what you can do at Line Rock next week.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
Bye. So there you go, guys. Sorry about the UI coming up there as well. It seemed to have a little bit of a funny moment. Zach, great ending, great racing. Line Rock next week. That's going to be a great race as well, surely.
Oh, Lime Rock. Takes me back to my iRacing rookie days in the MX-5s, that does.
Line
I love
Rock,
it.
West Bend.
So is that the one with the chicane?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, spicy. I like the sound of that. Yeah, be here in a week's time, guys, because that is going to be chaos. We've got, 20-odd cars going around there? Bring it on. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be an absolutely barnstorming one there as well. So that's going to wrap it up from myself and Mr. Zach Sweeney up here in the booth. So for now, guys, hopefully we will see you more as well, as we've got some more racing coming up over this weekend. And you can have a look on the JPB schedule there as well. There is a lot coming up of racing. In fact, there's iRacing there as well. F3's going on, Super Formulas, VWFC with their modern series. So a lot happening, guys, as well. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined me. Handsome Stu, as always, Piercy, Alan, and Austin Draper, I believe. John O'Cook jumping in earlier on as well. Much love to you all. But for now, guys, from myself, James Parfitt, alongside Zach Sweeney up here at the JPB booth, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.